The morning sun lit up the tall glass windows of Coltech Tower. The place gleamed like a diamond in the city's heart. Cars honked below, workers hurried through the doors, and whispers filled the air. Today was special. It was the day everyone anticipated the engagement of Daniel Cole, the young wealthy CEO, and the woman known as the Queen of Beauty, Vanessa. At exactly 8 a.m., the sound of high heels echoed across the wide marble floor, sharp and proud. Everyone froze. Vanessa had arrived. Her white shirt was immaculate, her black trousers looked perfect, and her sunglasses sparkled under the lights. She walked confidently, her perfume filling the lobby like a royal crown. Then, a small incident occurred, but it changed everything. Near the glass door, an old cleaner was focused on scrubbing the floor. Her grey hair peeked out from under her headscarf, and her name tag read Mama Ruth. She had worked in this building for years. Gentle, humble, always kind. She believed every floor she cleaned should shine because, for her, work was an honor. But that morning, her hand slipped. Her bucket tipped over. Soapy water flowed across the floor like a slow river. Before she could stop it, it touched Vanessa's expensive black heels. Vanessa stopped, her expression hardening. "What is this?" she snapped, her voice resonating through the lobby. "Are you blind? Do you know how much these shoes cost?" The room went silent. Some workers looked down, pretending not to see. Others stood frozen. Even the security guard averted his gaze, fearful. Mama Ruth bent down quickly, wiping the floor. "Ah, madam, I'm sorry. It won't happen again," she said softly, her voice trembling. Vanessa took a slow step forward, her heels clicking like thunder. "People like you shouldn't even be here," she hissed. "Poor, dirty, careless. You should clean in the basement, not near the CEO's lobby." Gasps filled the room. Vanessa's words cut deep. Mama Ruth remained silent. Her eyes lifted briefly, full of sadness, not anger. Her hands shook as she cleaned. No one knew that the woman Vanessa just insulted was Daniel's mother. Mama Ruth had secretly come from her countryside home, wearing a cleaner's uniform, to evaluate her son's bride-to-be. She wanted to see her character, not her appearance. And what she witnessed broke her. The next morning, Mama Ruth returned quietly, pushing her cleaning cart through the same hall where Vanessa had humiliated her. Some workers whispered, "She's the one Vanessa yelled at." But Mama Ruth only smiled. "Don't worry, my child," she said softly. "The truth always finds a way." At 10 o'clock, Daniel arrived. The atmosphere shifted instantly. Workers straightened their postures. Cameras flashed. Daniel was young, handsome, and smart, a man people respected. Vanessa rushed to him, her tone suddenly sweet. "My love, you're late," she said, holding his arm. Everyone smiled. They looked like the perfect couple. But Mama Ruth watched from a distance, her eyes heavy. She noticed how Vanessa switched her tone, rude one moment, gentle the next. Mama Ruth whispered to herself, "Sometimes beauty hides a dark heart." That evening, as Daniel's car drove away, Vanessa turned back to the staff. Her smile vanished. "Don't stand there staring," she shouted. "Get back to work." Mama Ruth stayed quiet. Her heart was heavy, but her mind was clear. She had seen what she needed to see. Days went by, and Vanessa's pride grew rapidly. She yelled at workers, mocked the security guard, and even complained about the flowers in the lobby. "These roses are cheap. Replace them," she barked. No one dared to respond, but Daniel never saw that side. Around him, Vanessa was charming, gentle, and kind. She called him honey, held his hand, and said she wanted to make his mother proud. If only Daniel knew his mother was already there, watching every move in a cleaner's uniform. Mama Ruth prayed quietly every night. "Lord, open my son's eyes," she whispered. One evening, a grand dinner was held for the company's top board members. Vanessa wore a gold gown that sparkled under the lights. She looked regal, but her heart still brimmed with pride. When the waiters brought the food, she frowned. "This isn't what I ordered," she shouted. "Do you all want to ruin my night?" The waiters froze. Some averted their eyes in fear. Then, Mama Ruth stepped forward quietly from the corner. Please, madam, she said softly. Don't shout. They are trying their best. Vanessa turned sharply. Did I ask for your advice, old woman? Go clean something. The entire room fell silent. Daniel didn't notice he was busy talking with the company directors. Mama Ruth bowed her head and returned to her corner. Her hands trembled, but her eyes remained calm. Later that night, when the guests had left, Vanessa stayed behind for photos. She was unaware that Mama Ruth was still cleaning. As Vanessa picked up her purse, her phone rang. Her voice became playful, soft, but filled with deceit. Oh, baby, she said on the phone. Once I marry Daniel, we'll have everything. He thinks I love him, but it's the money I'm after. Mama Ruth froze behind a pillar. Her heart raced, and she covered her mouth to stifle a gasp. Her son's bride-to-be was planning to betray him. She closed her eyes and whispered, God, give me strength. The truth must come out. The next morning, Daniel's best friend, David, tried to speak to him. Daniel, I've seen things you need to know, he said. Vanessa isn't who you think she is. But Daniel smiled. You just don't understand her like I do. Mama Ruth realized that no warning would help. The truth had to reveal itself. So she quietly planned something in her heart. The morning breeze flowed gently through the tall glass doors of Caltech Tower. Everything seemed normal, but something had changed. Mama Ruth was no longer just cleaning floors. She was getting ready for the biggest test in Vanessa's life. She spoke quietly with Daniel's best friend, David. My son is blinded by love, she said softly. But true love isn't about sweet words. It's about kindness, respect, and humility. Help me test her heart. David nodded. I will help you, Mama. Together, they devised a simple but powerful plan, a test of compassion. That afternoon, Daniel called Vanessa into his office. Babe, he said with a warm smile, there's something I want you to do for me. Vanessa smiled sweetly, touching his arm. Anything for you, my love. Daniel continued. There's a new worker here, an elderly cleaner. She's been struggling with her rent. I want you to help her deliver a small package and give her something from me. He handed her a small brown envelope. It's from the company welfare program. Please handle it yourself. Vanessa smiled and nodded, but inwardly, she rolled her eyes. Why should I go near that old cleaner? She thought. That's not my job. When Daniel left for a meeting, Vanessa carelessly tossed the envelope into her purse and went shopping instead. Hours passed. The sun set. Mama Ruth sat quietly in the hallway, still cleaning. She waited, but Vanessa never showed up. The next morning, Mama Ruth met Daniel outside the lobby. Did she bring you the envelope? He asked. Mama Ruth smiled sadly. No, my son. But maybe she forgot. Daniel frowned, but remained silent. He didn't know Mama Ruth's heart was breaking. Later that day, Vanessa finally remembered. She spotted the envelope at the bottom of her purse. Oh, that silly thing, she said. Let me just drop it off and go. When she walked into the cleaning area, Mama Ruth was there mopping the floor. Vanessa tossed the envelope onto the table. Here, she said coldly. This is from Daniel. Don't waste my time. Mama Ruth looked up quietly. Thank you, madam, she said, bowing gently. But Vanessa wasn't finished. She laughed. You old people always depend on others. Why don't you find a better job? Do you even know who I am? Mama Ruth replied softly. I know, my dear, but one day you will know who I am too. Asti, Vanessa frowned. What did you say? Nothing, my child. Go well. Her calm demeanor made Vanessa even angrier. She stormed out without another word. That evening, Daniel took Vanessa out for dinner at a luxurious restaurant. As they sat down, he asked, You met the cleaner today, right? Vanessa smiled. Oh yes, that old woman. She's so slow. I don't understand why you keep people like her in your company. Daniel's smile faded a bit. She's worked here longer than anyone. She's loyal. Vanessa shrugged. Still, she doesn't belong near the CEO's floor. Daniel grew quiet. Something shifted in his heart. For the first time, he noticed a crack in the image he had of her. Meanwhile, Mama Ruth spoke quietly to David. The test has begun, but it's not enough. We need one more thing to reveal my son's eyes. David nodded. What do you have in mind? Mama Ruth's eyes softened with wisdom. Tomorrow, we will see who she truly is when she thinks no one is watching. The next day, the office buzzed with excitement. Daniel had announced a small charity outreach. All staff were invited to help pack food for widows and orphans. Vanessa arrived late, dressed in designer clothes and heavy perfume. Charity? She laughed. Do I look like someone who packs rice? Mama Ruth stood nearby, folding empty bags quietly. Everyone can help, madam, she said gently. Vanessa glared. You again? You're everywhere. Mama Ruth smiled. Yes, my dear. Wherever there is work, I go. Vanessa rolled her eyes and walked away. But as soon as Daniel entered the hall, her behavior shifted instantly. She ran to him and took his hand. Sweetheart, I was just about to help, she said loudly, smiling for the cameras. She picked up one bag of rice, posed for a photo, and then slipped away. Everyone noticed, including Daniel. That evening, Mama Ruth went home and knelt beside her small bed. Tears streamed down her cheeks. Oh Lord, she prayed, don't let my son walk into darkness. Show him the truth. Her phone buzzed. It was David. Mama, tomorrow is Daniel's birthday. We can use that day to review everything. Mama Ruth took a deep breath. Then tomorrow, the truth will finally speak. What happens on Daniel's birthday will leave everyone speechless. Vanessa's true self will be revealed and the woman she mocked will rise. The morning sun poured into Coltech Tower, painting the white walls gold. Everyone was getting ready for Daniel's big birthday celebration. There were flowers everywhere, balloons floating near the ceiling, and a beautiful cake with gold icing in the center of the hall. Employees whispered with excitement. Cameras were ready, but one person was missing, Mama Ruth. Daniel looked around. Has anyone seen the cleaner? He asked. No one replied. He didn't know she was preparing for something that would change everything. Vanessa arrived late, as usual. She wore a shiny red dress and diamond earrings that sparkled like tiny stars. She walked straight to Daniel, kissed him on the cheek, and smiled. Happy birthday, my love, she said. Everyone clapped and cheered, but behind that smile, her heart was full of pride. She believed she had already won the company, the fame, and the man. Just then, the hall doors opened slowly. Soft footsteps echoed through the room. It was Mama Ruth. But this time, she wasn't in her cleaning uniform. She wore a long royal blue gown and a scarf that framed her face beautifully. Her presence silenced the room. Every head turned. Daniel froze. Mama? He whispered in shock. Vanessa blinked rapidly, confused. Mama? Who is that? Daniel walked toward her. His voice trembled. That's my mother, Mama Ruth. Gasps filled the room. Some workers covered their mouths. Others whispered. The cleaner is his mother? Vanessa's face turned pale. No, no, that can't be true. Mama Ruth smiled gently. Yes, my child, it is true. She turned to Daniel. My son, forgive me. I wanted to know if the woman you love truly has a kind heart. So I came here as a cleaner, not as your mother, but as a simple woman. The room went completely silent. Only the soft hum of the air conditioner could be heard. Mama Ruth turned to Vanessa. And now, my dear, you will tell everyone what you did. Vanessa's lips trembled. I didn't know it was you. Mama Ruth's eyes shone with tears. That is exactly the point, child. You don't need to know who someone is before you treat them with respect. Vanessa began to cry, her mascara running down her cheeks. Please, Mama Ruth, forgive me. I didn't mean it. Daniel stood frozen, pain filling his eyes. He remembered all the things Vanessa had said, the insults, the pride, the way she looked down on others. His heart broke slowly, piece by piece. Mama, he said softly, I understand why you did it. He turned to Vanessa. You showed me everything I needed to see. Vanessa grabbed his hand desperately. Daniel, please, I love you. But Daniel shook his head. Love without kindness is just noise, Vanessa, and I can't build my life on noise. The crowd clapped quietly, not in mockery, but in respect for Mama Ruth's wisdom. She stepped forward and hugged her son tightly. My son, I only wanted to protect your heart. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. You did, Mama. You truly did. Vanessa stood aside, shaking and crying. I'm sorry, she whispered again. Mama Ruth looked at her gently. My dear, may this lesson make you better, not bitter. Kindness will take you farther than beauty ever will. Vanessa nodded slowly, her pride melting away like ice under the Sunday that evening. As the celebration continued, Mama Ruth sat beside her son on the rooftop of the tower. The city lights sparkled below them. Mama, Daniel said softly, you are the best teacher life could ever give me. Mama Ruth smiled. And you, my son, are my greatest pride. He held her hand tightly. From today, no one in this company will ever be treated like they don't matter. Mama Ruth nodded. That's my boy. The wind blew gently, carrying laughter and music across the night sky. Down below, the workers celebrated their CEO's birthday with joy, not because of his wealth, but because of his heart. And far away, Vanessa sat in her room, staring at her reflection. She whispered, kindness first, always kindness. The story of Mama Ruth, Daniel, and Vanessa became a lesson for everyone in Koltek Tower. No matter how high you rise, humility and love are what make you truly great.